Yeah, can we take it to Spokane now? Like,
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
I don't know. Does anybody know the story about what happened to him? It's pretty wild. Yeah.
yeah, I'll tell you the story. Most of these people are like, what the fuck is Spokane? Yeah, it's a trash place. Like it's really
It
bad.
is.
By the way, do you want a
there.
drink? I didn't.
Nah, I'm
She
good.
don't lie.
I'm
She
good,
don't
yeah.
lie. She don't lie.
Spokane.
Oh, there's a song too. Okay.
When you're bored of shit, drown in your own spit, Spokane.
Hell yeah. No, yeah. So yeah, as you said, yeah, I got my asylum approved, and then I was like, oh, everything is perfect right now. Like, no, like this guy is untouchable. Like you talk to me, like, here are my papers.
It's like getting 70 episodes on your show. You're like,
Dan, stop making it about you.
4chan can't stop me now.
Well,
yeah, I can.
tap that hornet's nest again.
Yeah, very relatable. I'm like, yeah, 70 episodes. Yeah, tell me more. Yeah,
Hey, man.
I've never had an episode.
That's my one talent. I've been put on earth to make everything about me. No, you go ahead.
So yeah, I recently got like a college gig in it was in Pullman, Washington, which is like Spokane. What is that? You know, like no one knows what that is. Just a very small college town. And they're like, hey, if you want to come perform, we have like an event. I was like, yeah, sure, yeah, I'll come and do it. So I took the bus to get there because it's like by bus it was like 5 to 6 hours or so because it was like snowy. So like I'm not gonna drive. I got there. I did my set on Saturday. It went really well.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't look it up.
Yeah, it went great. It was amazing.
He's a good comic, and
Yeah.
also all college crowds are a gimme.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was. Ugh.
You really?
Oh my god! It was like it was.
Wait,
yeah.
did you bomb or did the audience just not dig it?
It was like, so the crowd like was like mostly students, and then I discovered that most of them were like promised extra credit if they attend. So I was talking to a crowd of people who were looking at their phones and not even looking at me.
Yeah.
And I did 10 minutes of material like to like just no one. And they were like, it was like a full room too. And then I sat on stage and then she started interviewing people like, where are you from? Ah, that's trash. It was like an old man, you know? And they just like start yelling at people and stuff. And they laughed a bit at that. And then, yeah, so I did my set, got paid, everything. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to leave this town. Never coming back.
You get back on that safe-ass bus.
Yeah, I got on the bus. Then we had to do a bus transfer in Spokane. So that was the reason I was there. I had to wait for 3 hours. Then I get on the bus. The bus is here on time, which is great. I get on the bus, just sitting in the back, looking at my phone and stuff. And then these two people in uniform like come in. And they like just like start walking around, and then like.
But the bus stops. Sorry, back that up though. The bus stops somewhere specific before these guys get on.
No, it was at the Greyhound station, so we haven't left yet.
He's transferred in Spokane.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
and it's like I've never traveled by bus.
Yeah.
God
Must be nice.
forbid.
Yeah.
There's still time.
The It's like if you're going an 8-hour trip, do you tend to just sit there and it stops at Greyhound stations?
Yeah,
So-
and you wait.
You sit in the shitty station and you're.
But you don't get off the bus if you're just shaking the whole trip.
It was so first bus from Pullman to Spokane, and then left that bus because that bus doesn't go all the way to Portland.
Okay.
It only goes to Spokane, and then waited in the station for 3 hours, and then the other bus came that was going to Portland.
Okay.
So yeah, just like I don't know, flights, like how like it was like a transit kind of thing.
I just want to contextualize like these guys getting on the bus. Are they getting on the bus before a trip starts?
Before the trip started.
Okay.
Yes.
So everyone sat,
Yeah, everyone sat.
and then these guys get on.
Yeah, they got on, and then they were like looking at like they were like pointing at random people, and I can like vaguely hear what they were saying, and then they came to me. I was like, oh, they're probably like asking for IDs. They're trying to match your ID with your ticket. It's fine, like
Because they're cracking down on the bus ticket counterfeit ring.
Yeah, Greyhound. Yeah.
But so you don't. But seriously, like in that moment, you think these guys work for Greyhound?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Thought they worked for Greyhound. I was like, it was like, yeah. Like,
This is how it works. Like
yeah, who
traveling
else
by
would
bus is amazing. Why would Greyhound let? Why would they not divert
Yeah.
funding into having? What do they look like? Describe them.
They looked like they were like big. Like,
picture
like,
them as
they
like
were
big.
like they're like buff guys and they're just like wearing uniforms and stuff. And they were like, yeah, can we see an ID? And I was like, here you go, this is my ID.
Are they skipping
Sorry,
people?
sorry, were they going straight at you, or were they doing it to everybody?
They asked 4 people to be specific.
Right.
They asked 4 people.
Are you
and
noticing? I'm not.
the people they asked looked vaguely ethnic.
Okay.
And there might
They're
be
skipping over people.
their best can be described like, oh, this person looks Hispanic.
Okay.
Yeah. They asked me for my ID. I was like, oh, I gave them my ID. I'm like, oh, gonna. I was like, you don't need my ticket. And they're like, no. Do you have? Then they were like, are you a U.S. citizen? And I was like, oh, that's such a weird thing for them to ask. And I was like, no, I'm not. And they were like, what's your country of citizenship? I was like, Libya. And they were like, okay, yeah, come with us. Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay.
Took
yeah.
you off the bus.
I still had no idea who these people were.
They hadn't identified themselves.
No, they didn't say anything when they came into the bus. They said nothing. So they took me out. They took 2 other people out, and then the 4th person they asked him if he was a citizen. He said yes, and then they were like, prove it. And he pulled his U.S. passport out. And I'm like, that's very weird. Okay.
So all the other people passed the check, is what you're saying.
But yeah, I mean, they looked at them and they passed. I mean, some of the people, they have a proof of citizenship.
They had
in
like
their
driver's licenses.
Exactly, yeah.
And they were like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, sometimes you could look at a person like, a citizen.
And you were like,
Yeah.
I'm from Libya and I have asylum. And they're like,
yeah.
off the bus. But okay.
We still haven't even mentioned the asylum part yet because like
Right.
I got out. They were like, okay, do you have any other form of ID? I was like, yes.
But I
do.
just want to ask one, like, I'm a comic book nerd. So
Yeah.
I'm like, in panel 14 of issue 3, like, because I'm picturing these guys in a certain way. And I'm wondering, like, so if they're facing you and you're on a bus and then they're like, you're coming off the bus, as they turn their back and you're following them, do you
Yeah.
not see this logo on the back? Is that, or am I just,
They were, like,
doesn't it say ICE on the back?
No. Well, here's the thing. I thought they were ICE. They were like CBB, which is like Border Patrol something. They're both under Homeland Security, so they work together. These 2 agents were from like that separate agency, which is I'll get to that part too because that was like very interesting on the internet. But so I got out with them and they were like, do you have any other proof of like identification? I was like, yeah, I do have my work permit. It's still valid. It's issued by you guys. Like, cause,
I just want to interject one thing because
Yeah.
of social anxiety and resonating with you.
Yeah.
Are you the only person they pulled off the bus?
they pulled 2 other people they were like interviewing separately because they were like
Okay.
at least 6.
Because my anxiety starts mounting if
Yeah.
if everyone on the bus is waiting.
Oh, everyone on the bus was there. Yeah, they were just, like,
that
looking from the
idea of
window.
like, oh, I'm like a bad person.
Yeah, it was-
and
yes.
they're like the bus is now going like, come on.
Oh,
I'm
that
trying to go to.
definitely happened.
Okay,
yeah.
so I just
No,
wanted to
no,
get like a clear picture of like if it's just you or
No, absolutely. Yeah, it was me and then 2 other people who were like on the side. And then, yeah, they were like, I gave them my work permit. I was like, here you go. And at that point, okay, I was like, okay, these are like, they work for immigration. They're like immigration officers. This is like what I can, I can see now. And then I gave them my card. They looked at it and they were like, what's your story? Like, what's your status? I was like, yeah, I have an asylum approved. This is my status. And then they were like, do you have your asylum approval on you? And I was like, why would I have it on me? That's such a weird thing. I was like, it's 3 pages with a big card. And I was advised by your office not to carry it with me.
because I could take it. I want asylum.
Exactly. I was like, this is like an electronic, because it's mostly electronic. Like you can like look it up and then show it to them, and that's it. You don't need to carry a paper with you.
If you genuinely have asylum, you have a place to keep your asylum papers.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you're walking around with all your papers,
Just
maybe
a
you're.
just a file cabinet, just like walking around, like everything is here.
All right. What happens next? Like,
So I gave it to them. I gave them, and then I was like, I don't have it. I was like, but I do have these papers, and they were like, these can be easily falsified. I was like, what? I was like, no, there's no. I was like, this work permit is fraud proof. Like you can't do that. I was like, since 2011, you guys updated it, and you can't change it anymore. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I read your website like almost every day.
They love you now.
They hated me so much. Yeah.
Because you're verbal.
Exactly.
And
they were like really not into me because the reason they target Greyhound bus is a very cheap bus. So like most of the people who use it are a lot of people of color use it in the area. A lot of people who are like immigrants, Hispanic and stuff, they use it. So they know where to target. They're not gonna like go on some fancy bus that's just like wealthy white people inside of it because that would be inconvenient.
So they're there to rumble you because these are ICE officers?
So CBB, they're like they're two different organizations that both of them work together. They basically do the same job.
Right.
Yeah, they're both horrible.
So they think you falsified your papers or like they give you your stuff back, right?
Still not giving me my stuff back. They were like holding to them, and I was like, at that
They took your shit, like your cell phone, and
no, they didn't take my cell phone.
Okay.
Yeah. So they had like, so I had my papers, and I was like, no, my papers are legal, and they kept using the word illegals and every sentence that comes out of my mouth, they were like, yeah, illegals say that all the time. Like no matter what I say.
That's probably very true.
Exactly.
I guess.
Yeah. And I'm like, I say something, and they're like, yeah, we've heard that before. I'm like, what? Okay, whatever.
And damn illegals and your story structure get us every time. That second act that made us let them go.
Looks like we got us a talker.
we got an
Hold your fucking horses, T.S. Eliot.
Definitely you look like an Elliot for sure. Yeah,
Part of your story that I
Elliot.
saw on Twitter was like the point where you have spoken your case, like misunderstandings, whatever. Like let's do an NPR segment about what they're going through and what they're profiling and whatever. I'd be shockingly sympathetic to whatever the fuck is going on. But you have said, I have this, I have that, and they call it in.
Yes.
And you can hear.
Yeah, I can hear like it was like a woman's voice on the other side. They were like reading numbers out of my my work permit, my immigration status and stuff, and I can hear on the phone. They were like, "Okay, yeah, oh, okay, so it's in the system. Okay, yeah, okay," and then looked at me and was like, "Yeah, there's no records of that."
Now, what was that? Let's focus in on that.
Yeah,
because
at that point, like I was like really frustrated. I was like, okay, this is like getting, because like throughout the whole thing, I was like being calm because I'm like, you know what, this is inconvenient. But once they make their calls and they see that I'm like in the system, just take my papers.
My mind
and go.
races as a middle-aged white guy and an oppressor and all this stuff, and I go, okay, zoom in, if I figure out how to be this guy, and I go, okay, I don't like to admit making a mistake. I'm embarrassed. I'm flustered. Is that what you think that is?
It felt that way, but also like it felt like they're trying to break me at that point. They're like, okay, if we can't get you on that, we're gonna get you on something different.
But do you think they really thought at that point that's my fascination of the story is like, do you think that they thought if they bluffed, you would eventually go, okay, I masterminded 9/11, or do you think that they were like going, one doesn't just get out of this valley with a ladder. One needs to create a beach.
I honestly think it was like both, because like from what I read and stuff, like they do that to people so they can break down like and just like say that they've done something or whatever. And also that like they're not gonna make it easy. They kind of like want to leave you with like yeah, don't fuck with us. Like yeah, have your everything on you next time. Like we're not to be played with and stuff. But like so it got to the like and they were talking to one another, but they wouldn't. I didn't hear what they were saying because they would do the thing where they whisper to one another, and I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then once they told me that I have no records, and I was like, there's no way. Okay, I was like, you know what, my case is approved. I think what you're doing now is illegal, and if you don't give me my papers back, I'm gonna call my lawyer. I'm gonna pursue legal action. This is like getting too much.
There you go.
This is a terrifying threshold.
Yeah. And even at that, like said it like very calmly because
what was it? How did that register in their eyes when you said that?
Oh, I'm sure they loved it.
Immediately, once I finished that sentence, the officer that hasn't spoken a word the whole time started yelling at me to take my hands out of my pockets.
Whoa!
Yeah. And
By
I
the
was
way,
like,
what temperature is it?
It was like freezing cold, and they were like wearing gloves and stuff. And the thing is, like, I had them in for 20 minutes.
Right.
Now you decided
You're hanging out there.
Yeah,
You're both detonators are ready to go
exactly.
at this point.
No blasters.
They're
no
armed
blasters.
and ready. I mean, for you to like, you're gonna actually put more effort.
Okay, so you bring up you say, hey, what you're doing is illegal. I'll lawyer up, and they now are treating you like you might have a weapon on you.
Exactly. So I immediately, I'm like, I've watched enough documentaries to know where this is going. And I took my hands out of my pocket. I'm like, hey, here are my hands.
Yeah.
I kept them out. And then for 2 minutes, I said nothing. Because at that point, it was like, no matter what I say, it's going to be
It's
like...
quicksand. You move more and you go down more.
Yeah, they were like looking at me, and I'm just like not even looking at them at this point. I'm just like looking around and stuff.
This is where I want to like focus in though.
Yeah.
It's like guy, 46-year-old white guy, huge blind spot, didn't know until tonight that Benghazi is in Libya, et cetera, all of this stuff. Like I not just as like a curiosity shop thing, but as a transfusion of self-esteem, I'm like, I want to know at which point are you going like where are you at the nadir of like, I'm fucked. They got me. Like not they got me. Like they caught me doing anything wrong. But like the bullies won. I'm going back home.
I was honestly like, I had so many scenarios playing in my head. I was like, oh shit, what if they like take my phone, and then I have like no one important, like no one knows where I am right now, because I'm like, I haven't it was like very early in the morning. I haven't posted anything. No one will know where I was taken from.
Also, the worst is that they'd be like, we saw him bombing in this cafeteria, and then he disappeared.
Exactly.
Also, like, what if they took your phone and you went through a brief but adventurous phase at the subreddit Gone Wild Audio?
All right, so
All I'm saying is once you take
Dan.
a motherfucker's phone,
Dan, let him finish his.
you want to prove they're a bad person.
All right, okay. Mohanad, let's forget Dan's. Let's forget Dan's here. Let's finish this story now, because this is compelling shit. We're not getting through this because you like take us to the end and
Wait
then.
a minute, I resent that. I think that I'm providing a pretty good. You don't have to stick up for me. It's fine.
No, shut up, Dan.
I
Dan, be
honestly
quiet.
think
Dan,
you're killing
there's a thing
Thank
happening.
you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you.
So the end of the story, and then you get into a Twitter warfare that goes on. So take us to the end of that.
No. Wait. Sorry. No.
No, shut up.
I'm not trying to high road you, but the story's not done. He's on the sidewalk. He's freezing, and he's being frisked.
Take us to the end of the story, and then get like this is only Act 2, basically, of what's going on.
Absolutely, yeah. This is like not even where the story is. Like this is like nothing.
Yes. But if Dan would be quiet for 5 seconds,
fuck you, white man.
No.
just let him tell the.
Wait, I got a beef to squash. Excuse me for a second.
Shut up.
What? Fuck you.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, go ahead.
Just
you can
fucking
talk now.
No, then I after like a few minutes they gave me my papers back after like a just silence, and then they were like, next time have your papers on you, and I was like, well, I don't know what that means. Okay, because I had my papers on
because
me.
it's fucking Germany in 1930.
Exactly. Exactly. So I got on the bus.
Let me get this straight. If you have papers, you can get away from white people?
Yeah.
Now, how much? You said $3,000 for these papers? All right, MeUndies. And we are selling those papers as well here on Harmontown.
Brandon, you are so selfish.
All right. Mohanad.
We can start a business together. Yeah.
All right. So they give you your shit back. You're free to go, but with a warning.
Yeah, with a warning.
Which is illegal.
No admittance of absolutely zero, no matter how minor.
Nothing.
No admittance
Not
of
even
like,
a sorry. No.
Got you wrong. Nothing.
Nothing.
Let alone an apology.
Nope. Nothing.
But absolutely. They were like,
nothing.
We did this and we were entitled to do it and we did it and now get back on the bus.
They looked like. If you look at their faces, they've never said the word sorry before. Like I don't know how to describe that. Like, have you ever seen someone's face? I'm like, you look racist. That's how they looked. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Do I look racist?
No.
In a brief interjection,
I told you. Don't flinch. That makes me look racist.
Mohanad, like you could be an actor and play
Worst
like
meme.
any ethnicity almost. Like you could
Absolutely.
play like you could play anything.
Absolutely, yeah.
I look like a Caucasian, like Germanic dude. I had
wish.
in my passport a bunch of things. I visited Saudi Arabia and
Yeah.
Yemen and Dubai and the UAE. And,
No Abu Dhabi. Yeah.
Abu Dhabi do. I've been to Abu Dhabi. But I had a customs officer, and I look like like a very white American dude.
Yeah.
And they see Arabic in my passport, and the customs when I came back into like LAX.
Yeah.
The guy's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
I go, "I was in Saudi Arabia." He goes, "Why?" I go, "They're one of our allies, and I was performing for the troops." Like, what's your fucking next question?
Yeah.
They like funded 9/11.
Yes, but like, so okay.
So
right,
if you want your next 9/11 funded, you need to let me
Right.
into this country
Sorry.
now.
See, that was my mistake for interjecting. All right, so Mohanad, so now
Yeah.
take us to the streets where you get fucking online and fucking get in trouble.
I was on the bus. Like I got on the bus first. I texted I texted my girlfriend. I texted like friends, and we're like, oh my god, you can't believe what happened right now. This and this happened, and then I was like, no one on the bus was talking to me. Like no one said anything positive or negative, which felt like
Because they all saw you get taken off and put back on.
exactly. Yeah.
What about the other people? Just curious. It was you and like 3 people or whatever.
I came on the bus. Another person came on the bus, and the third person they took away with them. So I have no idea.
So somebody lost the lottery.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone witnessed it.
Yeah,
It's
and-
sitting in a Greyhound bus.
and everyone was just happy that we're finally moving.
Yeah,
because
I mean, like we see this that the United guy gets stun batoned or somebody like chokes a dog. If you're sitting in these seats and then
it's very very normalized. It felt like this is something like, oh yeah, we see this every day. Who cares? Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, like one person was taken.
but also like
Cool.
when's the revolution supposed to start? You're not you're socialized to go like my job is to sit here
Yeah.
and then people can
well,
come
yeah,
aboard
if you hear people on the internet and the responses to my thread, everyone was gonna be the hero that day.
I fucking hate all of the internet.
Yeah. Same. You'll know why.
I guess
So the dust is settled. The wheels are rolling. You're
Yeah.
on your way to Portland.
So yeah, because like no one was talking to me, I was like, I have this thing. I'm like, oh, I guess I have to tell people on social media. So like, I wrote this like whole thread on Twitter, and just like described exactly what I've told everyone, like what happened. Like
I read
step
the
by
thread.
step.
It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, and it was just like, so I wrote the whole thing, posted a picture of like the agents who stopped me and everything, just to prove that this thing actually happened. Because I took a picture of them like when I got on the bus, they were taking a person, so I took like snap few pictures of that and like posted that in a tweet as well. And then, not an hour from that thread just blew up. It was just like going viral. Like everyone was just like retweeting the whole thing. It was just like getting like, okay, 10K, 20K, 30K, 100K. I'm like, okay, I don't know what. And then out of nowhere, like getting DMs and emails from like news agency, like everyone like, hey, can we?
Had you ever had anything like that go that big, like on your Twitter before?
I had a dumb tweet about Uber that got 500,000 likes.
and people are
that's
like,
it.
why are you using Uber?
Yeah, it was a joke about Uber, which is
I saw it.
Yeah, which is so funny because every viral tweet that I write has to do with transportation. That's my brand.
All right,
It was funny. The Uber tweet's great.
Yeah.
but is there a feeling there, or is it like because that blowing up, that virality?
Yeah.
Is it? I don't want to lead the witness, but this feeling of like you're even people that are on your side are
Yeah.
pushing you.
Yeah.
That because you became symbolic.
Yeah.
And you're alone though. There's you're being retweeted because people that want your experience of it, but it just I don't know what to ask you about that. I'm just like doesn't the fucking world suck? The internet, like did you like I get one of my questions is when you sat back on the bus after having that experience, what was your feeling? But then as those retweets and viral things started coming in, I guess I'm leading you to say, actually, that was worse. Because
Yeah.
that's when people started sticking up for me, and that's when shit got abusive.
Yes, that's very true. When I got on the bus, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I was like cool or what. I was like on the verge of tears. Like I was like just so upset and so mad because this thing just happened. Because it felt like really dehumanizing because like in my brain, I'm like, oh, I'm doing all of these things and I'm doing comedy and like people like me and stuff. And then you have like this one brief moment when you're like, is reminded that you're an other, and I'm like, oh man,
Gotta
it's just-
tweet this because it's inherently comedic. Otherwise,
Exactly.
what's my job?
And
Exactly,
were you in instant trouble online? Like, didn't you get like death threats and stuff like that?
Yeah, I did, and I think one of the reasons, like it was like a lot of like big names just like retweeting it, and then I think the point where it got like really big when Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez also retweeted it, and then
shit.
and then wrote her thing, and I was like, holy shit, okay, this
Does
is
it panic you?
Yeah, I was like, oh wow, okay, this is some Congress shit here, okay.
Does that make you go like it's out of control? Like I don't.
When it got to that point, I was like, okay, this is national right now.
Did you appreciate that, or did you think that? Did you wish that didn't get that much traction? Where you might get in trouble.
There are two parts of me. Like one part was like, as a person, I was like, I don't need this. Like I wish that this didn't happen. That this is inconvenient. But also there was that other part of me was like, I'm a person who's like privileged enough to have a platform. I'm a person who's privileged enough to have like a voice and like can speak English well and do all of these things. And this thing that happened to me happens all the time.
Exactly.
And I'm like, if I don't speak, I'm like this is gonna be a story like it's gonna be thrown away because a lot of people were like surprised that
Right.
like this happens and they had
Absolutely.
no idea that it was happening before.
And the fact that when like I don't know who put that into my eyeballs. Like someone said, you have to read this thread.
Yeah.
Like it might have been like Sarah Silverman or whatever. Like someone said, you have to read this thread. And I read the whole thing. And the thing that struck me first and foremost is that, oh, you have, again, an audience and a voice.
Yes.
And you get a lot of eyeballs on your story. But this happens to people that don't have any recourse or anything. And the fact that you're from Libya, you're an asylum seeker, you are going through this arduous process, and yet you still, as an American, as far as like legally, like everything is concerned, you get to be made to feel like the other, and that you get to feel like you don't belong when you absolutely fucking do, and then. What about the people that don't speak English and don't have any recourse and don't have the $3,000 to get their shit together?
Absolutely. I mean, it's like because I can't get over that person who was taken away because I'm like he was standing next to me and I don't know if he had papers or not. It's the fact that he couldn't even speak English that well.
So he was
like being harassed. Like I don't think he was even like understood what they wanted.
Wow.
And it was like, holy shit, this is like disgusting. And then when I wrote about it, like people from Spokane was like, this happens all the time. Greyhound is letting those people, both ICE and both CBB, on the bus all the time. They're complicit and they don't have to. They don't have to because like there has to be a warrant or something for them to get on the bus.
Are there stories about some bus drivers saying, no, you got to show me some fucking warrant? And
I think that happens sometimes too. Like there was 2 stories where I read like a bus driver like show me the warrant because you cannot get. And then there was this other story with this African American lady who stood up. She was a citizen, and when they came in, she started like telling people on the bus like, don't fucking give them your papers.
Yeah.
It's your 4th Amendment right and all of this stuff. And they got off the bus.
so emotionally, where does that put you right now in terms of like whether like how do you feel as a citizen or like your desire to be a citizen here? Like where does that put you?
Oh, it does not change my desire by any means because like this is what they want. They want me to leave. They want me to go away, and I'm not fucking doing that.
And
Like,
once you're a citizen, you have a vote and you have everything. It's like here's the thing that I want to gain from you. And it's all about me. Is like because I am clearly so fragile, so narcissistic, so fucking like entitled. I'm not used to this idea of people not wanting me around.
Yeah.
And these times we're living in, it's not we're all connected. And I just like, I want to understand, I want to get a self-esteem transfusion from you because I don't like, I'm just this pudgy fucking like, I'm like, well, if you don't like me, then I'm going to go away and all this stuff. And I'm like, like, what does it feel like? So you get back on the bus and then you're like, texting your girlfriend, you're texting people, and you're like kind of pumped. I'm familiar with that chapter of outrage and like alienation.
Yeah.
But what I've never been able to cope with is that other chapter where you tweet and you go, "This just happened to me," and people start saying like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you? Where the fuck is your name in my fucking Twitter timeline?
Yeah.
I wish you would fucking die. Like,
Absolutely.
It's not as simple as asking you, like, how do you cope with that? Because I've asked that of a million people and they all go, meh, just don't think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be lie and be like, oh, that was like easy to deal with. It's obviously like something like it's definitely hurtful, and I'm like I wish that wasn't happening. Like but it doesn't make me personally like it doesn't make me feel sad. They were saying this stuff about me. It makes me sad. I'm like, there are some people who are like that vile and that horrible. I'm just like, in some sense, I'm like, I feel so bad for you too that this is how you lead your life.
God,
this is how
I
you
can't
live
get there. Yeah,
every day.
Yeah, this has always been the thing is that racism is not, it seems like it's an incredible accomplishment to those who wish to practice it.
Yeah.
They are so impressed.
I'm a third-degree racist.
They are so impressed by their systemic racism. They think that this thing that they've built is so awful. And it is awful. It sucks.
Yeah.
But it is not very smart. It's not very efficient. It's not the best way to do anything. So the way that we who are oppressed feel about it is like it's a fucking gnat.
Exactly.
It goes by your ear. It doesn't stop your spirituality. It certainly doesn't stop you from rising up.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
just this inconvenience. It's like racism is like people taking the steps out of a set of steps. You know you're going to get where you're going. You just can't believe a motherfucker would build like that.
Exactly.
I can't believe these stairs have to go around this guy's guitar pool.